Hi guys, creating and editing a video can take a lot of work, especially a travel video. It can take many hours. In this video I will show you how I edit my movies the most efficient way. I'm actually editing now a video about my 4-day trip I did earlier on, so we can take that one as an example. I think this video can be helpful for everybody who makes videos. It doesn't matter what kind of video. It can be a travel video like me, but it can also be the wedding of your ex-girlfriend, a day in the park, your new career on Pornhub. It doesn't really matter what you're gonna do with the video, but as long as you're gonna publish it, you need to edit it. This video is not about how to shoot a video or how to do storytelling and that kind of stuff to make a video more interesting. This video is only about the editing part. However, if you want to see me make a video about that, about how to shoot a travel video or how to make a video a little bit more interesting, you can leave that in the comments below. Do you want me to make that video? Well, you can write it down in the comments. I am gonna break this video down in 8 important steps. First, let's talk about my beard. This is the 3rd week now, and in my last video I asked about my 2 female subscribers what they think of the beard, but they didn't respond. All the girls are leaving me. I actually start to wonder if I have female subscribers. Well, if you're watching this and you're a female, please let me know in the comment, that will be nice. When it comes to video editing, I work in steps to make it all clear for myself and to keep it all organized. And that are exactly the 8 steps I'm gonna discuss with you. By the way, I work in Final Cut Pro. There are many video editors out there. DaVinci, Adobe Premiere, you got iMovie, you got the Windows version is Movie Maker, I guess. It's called Movie Maker. Well, I don't know. The reason why I work with Final Cut Pro is because I like actually how it works, the program. It is not a program which has all kind of fancy stuff in it. You have to do it basically yourself, but it can do it all. And that's what I like about it. It is for a Mac. I work on a Mac. It is not that expensive and it runs proper. Don't crash that often, only sometimes, of course. You don't need to save your work. It does some kind of autosave, so that's handy because when it crashes, of course, I totally forgot to save. It's still gonna be there. So basically, that's why I like to work in Final Cut Pro, but any program out there can do the trick. So, well, the first step, and yeah, maybe the most important step about how to work organized is, of course, gathering all your footage. And with gathering all your footage, I don't mean throw them all in one folder. If we go to my Final Cut Pro, I will show you. We see I have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. That's by the way in Dutch, but it doesn't matter. So I got all this stuff from day 1. Here are all the footage I shot from day 1. By the way, I imported my video footage directly into Final Cut. You can also put it, of course, on a hard disk on your computer. I like this personally better. So it creates just one giant file with all the stuff in it. But if you don't want that, of course, you can also put all your stuff on the hard drive. It doesn't really matter that much. But anyway, I create a folder inside Final Cut. Here you can see the duration of every file and you can see at what time I shot all the content. These are GoPro images and these are iPhone images you see here. You can see at the time this was like 16 hours and 44 minutes and then I can see it was around when we arrived. So that makes it easy. But when you do stops, shoot and write and you stop and you shoot, and it's gonna be complicated. So it's very important that you have that timestamp, because without the timestamp it's gonna be horror. And my first movie, I forgot that part. So I had like hundreds, maybe 1,000 movie files and I totally forgot about that. By the way, if you want to see that movie, my first movie I ever created, you can find it by the link here. Go watch it, it's a good one. But so yeah, I have all the images now taken from the cameras, from the drone, from the iPhone, and I put this all on the computer. Second step I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it down on a timeline. So I have here a sequence and I put them all in a timeline. Why would you say to put it all in a timeline? Because I can also select parts, like from here we have this part from my tent and I can make an in and out point, like here, in and an out, and I can say I only want this part. That is also possible, but I prefer to put it for this movie just in a timeline. Reason why I like to put it on a timeline, all the images, is I can see now that the movie, in this movie you're gonna see me drunk. I'm actually drunk here. But it's not so hard to see that I'm drunk. It's pretty obvious to see. But anyway, I trimmed already parts out of it. And I can see it is still like 41 minutes. That is a bit too long, of course, for if you do a 4-day holiday. And the first day is already 41 minutes. It's gonna be a long, boring movie. So I need to trim this down to like 6 minutes of exciting video, if there is any, of course. When I shoot 6 road shots and it's basically the same roads, I don't need it. I just need a few seconds of the road and the rest I can throw out. So the next step number 3, is I'm gonna trim it out, roughly. I'm not gonna do it like for fades or whatever. I'm just gonna do it roughly. Like for instance, this is a nice part where you see the turn. I like actually the trees also. So what I'm doing, I cut it here and this I throw away. And now I have this part and I look at it and until here is nice. There we got out of the turn. So, and I make a cut there. Let me see what we got next. Another turn, not so impressive turn. I'm talking there. Oh, this is nice. You see that windmill? That of course we want. So I make a cut there. Throw out the rest of the stuff I had earlier. Hop. There we see the windmill. That's nice. Until like here. And I make another cut and I throw it out. And that I'm gonna do with all the clips. So all the clips I'm gonna walk through, cut out everything which is not necessary. So that trims down a lot. Probably I will still have then 15 minutes or even 20 minutes. But then it comes to the next round of trimming. Then I'm gonna throw away stuff which I don't like. And that's also basically a difficult thing with editing. These images look so great. Yeah, I know. But you cannot make a boring movie from 4 hours. So you need to trim it down. And then sometimes you need to throw away stuff which you'd like. And that's also a difficult part of editing. But yeah. It is just a road, but basically that's how I do it. Now, I'm going to a different project. So when I'm done with trimming and I'm happy with the length of the video, then comes steps number 4. Then I'm gonna add music. Of course, if you want to add music, if you have a video without music, it's also possible. But I like to put music under my videos, especially my travel videos. So here I got this video. And you see, right here, where I hit the water, for instance, it falls on the beat of the music. You see this part, and boom, there it is. Let me go a little bit further here. And you see there, exactly on the beat, I trimmed it. So, and you can see on the wave markers, of course, where the beat is. And it's nicer to put it on the beat. Bam. And like, for instance, it was like this. You see, it's not the same. It doesn't feel good. And there you go. So I create music, and where I want music, in this case I just used one track, which is basically simple. Normally I do a lot of tracks. If you want music, it's actually free on YouTube. You can find it for free. I will show you where you can find music for free. So if you go to your YouTube studio, there is a thing called audio library. And there you find all kind of music for free. You can use it. If you go to the search or filter library, you can see the genre, the mood, the track title, the duration. So we're gonna do whatever, dance and electronic, hip hop or rap or jazz and blues. Whatever, I'm gonna click dance. No, I'm gonna do country and folk. So I'm gonna listen to it. Whatever. YouTube is very strict with copyrights these days. If your channel is monetized or you want to grow on YouTube, your music needs to be legal. And if you put Stairway to Heaven under your nice mountain road, it's nice, but it will get you a copyright strike. So you need royalty-free music. Music you can use, or legal music, and you find them for free in your own YouTube account. For me personally, I use something else. I use Envato, but it costs me 15 euros every month. But they have also like stock images, and that's all the stuff I also need. But my first movie, actually, 4,000 Kilometer Ride, all the music you hear is coming from the audio library of YouTube. Step number 5, when I hit the music and have all the clips trimmed down on the beat, the next step for me is to add the text or sound effects, that kind of stuff. And so this was shot in Annecy. And so here I have the letters Annecy. If I play it, you'll see the letters Annecy. It's not going smooth, but because it's a computer. And as you can see, I created this black doors, like it opening like a window. Not going smooth at all. I'm actually kind of surprised that the computer is running. But yeah, in this video, in this day, I didn't use much text effects or sound effects. But in my normal videos, as you might notice, I use a lot of text effects and a lot of sound effects. But that is actually what I do in step number 5. So basically in step number 5, I pimp it all up a little bit with words, letters, sound effects, and also B-roll. And if you want to know what B-roll is, for instance, if I'm talking now about flowers, and then I will show you now some flowers while I'm talking about flowers, that is called B-roll. Step number 6 is for me a kind of important step, because that's where I'm gonna check the whole movie. You would say, yeah, but you're constantly working, so you see how it looks. But no, I wanna see the whole movie. I wanna see the whole part I'm editing, because did I miss something? Is something not looking good? Is the audio not in timing? Or are the words and the sound effects not aligned the same? For me, it is very important that I watch the whole movie, because that's where I notice all those little things. Normally I take a little break, take a cup of coffee and just hit play. And then I'm gonna see if I forgot something. The next step is the color correction. And I do this as one of the last steps because it will slow down your computer. When I'm working with color correction and put all the filters on, it is very hard to play the video smoothly. And that's why I check the video in the step before. If we see this shot here, and now it is without color correction. So this is how it looks from the camera. This is how it looks when I'm done with it. You see the difference? Like, it's a cold day. Oh, nice blue. Like this shot, you see? This is how it looks from the drone. This is how I create it. I make the greens more strong. I make the blues more strong. So it looks better for the eye instead of this. So when it's all color corrected, the last step is step number 8, and that's where I do the audio levels. Of course, in the clips, I am working that the audio levels are correctly and stuff, but basically the overall sound is kind of low. When I play this clip, you see it is like minus 6 dBs when it's playing, and it should be around 0. So what I do if when I have the final clip, in this case I didn't do it because I did it in the whole movie. This is just one day. This is day number 8 of my holiday. I make a compound clip of it. That means all the clips I did are now in that one clip. So I select the whole clip and then I put on a limiter or some EQ, depending what is needed. But most of the time a limiter will be fine. So here we have the limiter, and when I turn on the gain, you will see it's getting louder and louder, and you see the levels are now hitting the 0 dB. So that's basically what I do in the last step. Then in the final step, step number 9, which is really not a step, we're gonna take a cup of coffee and I hit export. And depending on what kind of color correction you have or filters, it can take a long while. My computer is not that fast, so for some videos it will take like 2 hours. When I say export, in this case I have to click share master file. And then you see the settings, and I export this as a H.264 file. The end result will be, in this case, it's a small video of 2 minutes. So yeah, it's like not that big. And then I hit next, and it's gonna render it down. When it's rendered down, I'm gonna check the whole video one more time. And I hate that part because sometimes after 2-3 hours rendering, this is not gonna take 2-3 hours, but my bigger videos, like 20 minutes, can render about 2, 3, 4, 6 hours. Then I see that I forgot one mistake. Point number 6, watch the whole movie from A to Z. You see, it's a very important step, and for some reason, I still miss things there. Forgot the word, or the sound effect is not straight under it. Yeah, I want it to be good, my video. So then I cannot do different than go back in the edit, fix that little problem, and hit export again. Yeah, with a travel video, of course, it is a lot of work, but I break it down in days, which make it a bit easier. And then when I've got all the days, I'm gonna connect the days all together and export it as one file. But if you do it logical in steps, it makes it a bit easier, because if you just work from scene to scene and add sound effects and do color correction there, it is not a very logical way of working, and it's definitely not a fast way of working. I am by far a professional, but I run a recording studio where you do many kinds of recording, and it's basically the same. There we also work with some kind of step system, because otherwise you're messing around in the edits. It's not really giving you a grip of what you're doing. If you want a fast and efficient way of working, try using my 8-step edit method, and maybe it will work for you. For me, it's actually working fine. So I'm going back to the edit of my 4-day journey, which takes me more time than I expected. And that's also, yeah, that's why efficiency is so important. I hope you liked the video. If you do, please give it a thumb up. YouTube likes the thumb up, so if you like it, give it a thumb up. This was it for the video this week, and I see you all in my next video. Catch you later.